Hey, how's it going, guys? Sned here with a little update. This one is my one bar healer alt gem build. Um, this is what I've been playing with the last couple of days, just dabbling and trying to build this one bar healer. What can work on pretty much every class. Just note that you will be at a disadvantage on certain classes compared to how I'm rocking now. Unless you're a Templar, a Sorcerer, or a Nightblade, you're going to be slightly at a disadvantage. Okay? Um, that also being said, you know, it may still work. Just note that you're not going to have the same skill trees as what I do. Okay? But let's go ahead and jump into it. So, we are a Khajiit, obviously. I'm a Khajiit sorcerer. I am in 4 heavy, 3 medium. We are running the Ritual Mundus Stone for that healing done. And then we are running Jewels of Misrule. In terms of my attributes, we are 1939 into health, 19 into the mag, and 6 into stamina. So, like I was saying, this build will work on every class, every race. Okay? Just note if you are a different race from the Khajiit, then your attributes over here will change. Okay? Ultimately, you want to try and aim for about 33 to 35k health, and you want to try and aim for about 20 to 21k, maybe 22k mag, and at least 18k stam. Okay? That's just my balance point when I create healers for PvP. That's kind of what I try and aim for and try and get to. Very, very nice. I'm happy where my attributes are right now. They feel very sturdy and I feel very comfortable. I have just noticed that I don't have traits on my chest and legs. I made this set late last night, because I had a little brainstorm of like, yeah, this could work, and I went and made it real quick. And I was in such a rush to try and get back in the Cyrodiil and go and play with my friends. I ended up not actually trading the legs and the chest, which is bad on my part, and I do apologize. But chest and legs, you always do heavy on reinforce for PvP. Okay, that's just no ifs, there's no buts. I don't care who you are. That's what I've always done. That's what I will always continue to do. Okay, it's too good to pass up. So just note that we are missing them 2 traits, which is fine. Right, let's jump into gear. So our monster set. This is a very solid monster set. You can farm this monster set from the base game dungeon of Spindle. Is it Spindle Clutch? I think it is where you get it from. Something like that. Wait, hold on. Let me go over here, mate. That's dungeon Spindle Clutch. Yeah, Spindle Clutch. See, I was right. I remember. But yeah, let's jump into that. So that is the Bloodspawn. It's the monster set from Spindle Clutch. So you will have to farm this on Veteran in order to get the helmet for this monster set. Okay. Obviously, we'll take a heavy on the helmet and on the shoulder. These are both on Impen, and everything is try enchant on my gear, so it's very easy to follow. Okay, so everything's try stat. I got Impen on my shoulders, Impen on my head. They're both heavy. I would then take a reinforced on my chest, which, like I said, isn't traded for some bizarre reason, other than I must have did it when I was tired and I just rushed, and it's okay because I'm gonna go and fix these in a minute. But yeah, reinforced on the chest. Okay. This set is a very interesting set. This is our next set. So Let's jump back into Bloodborne real quick. Sorry, I'm getting like ahead of myself. I'm like rushing here. When you take damage, you have 6% chance to generate 30 in ultimate, and increases your physical and spell resistance by 3,601 for 5 seconds. And this can occur every 5 seconds. So it's a very, very strong set. It's a very defensive set, and it helps with ult building. It's a very, very strong set. Our next set, this is our bread and butter. This is Spectre's Eye. Like I say, reinforced on chest and legs. They're both heavy on the chest and legs. And then we have the 3-piece medium for the hands, waist, and boots. And they're all on impen. Okay? So they're all impenetrable. What this set is good. So this set gives me 1400 armor, which is solid. It's nice. We get extra mag, which is always nice. And we get a little bit additional health, which is nice. And it says, whenever I cast a Magicka ability, while in combat, I gain major evasion. For 30 seconds, reducing the damage from area attacks by 20%. This effect can occur once every 30 seconds. So, what that is indicated to me, that is when I cast my ability while I'm in combat, boom, I get my major evasion. Then, I have a 30-second cooldown. Guess what? It's up for 30 seconds. So there's a 30-second cooldown on a 30-second uptime. So therefore, boom, it's 100% up the time. So it's up 100% of the time. That's how that set works. So yeah, you have major evasion up 100% of the time. Super nice, solid, happy. Moving on to our next set, we are running Ring of Potentates and a Neck of Potentates with a restoration staff. Okay, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, counts as a 4-piece because the weapons count as 2 now. But you only need the 3-piece anyway, because it's a 3-piece item set. What this set is doing for us, it's doing a couple of things for us. Obviously, we're getting that 3% reduced damage taken from players, which is nice. But we're also getting that huge 15% ultimate reduced cost to our ult abilities, right? So every time that we have an ultimate, it's already at 15% reduct price. Super handy, super nice. We are swift across the board on our jury. Obviously, we have our Oaken Soul as our mythic for all them juicy buffs. You know, super nice, super handy, very, very solid. Okay. Note that I'm also getting minor intellect, minor endurance, and I actually get that on the ring, what I've just gone and noticed. So I probably will drop that on that heal and probably try and find a buff what we're not getting on that heal. Okay. I'll probably go with the resolve. Did we get minor resolve? We get major resolve. I don't think we get minor resolve, so I could probably rack that out onto minor resolve if I can get minor resolve on this. But yeah, super nice, super handy, very, very strong. Obviously our glyphs for our jury across the board. I take the reduced cooldown of potions by 5 seconds, so that's 15-second cooldown on our potions whenever we're popping our potions. That's super handy, super nice. I do take a decisive trait on my healing staff. That also gives me that 55% chance to gain additional ultimate whenever I'm doing heavy attacks. Super handy, super nice, solid. I just keep the absorb magicka enchant, life drain enchant on it. That's how it came. That's just what I was rocking. You know, it is what it is. Super nice. In terms of our blue tree, we are taking Duelist Rebuff. This is a single target attack reduction by a flat 6%. We also take Ironclad, which is another flat 6%, but for direct damage. So what this is actually going to do, obviously a lot of people are running Assassination right now, and a lot of people are running Animal Companion right now. Majority of that is, you know, and even Adric Spear. Most of that is literally direct damage. So we're going to get that 6% reduction against all that, which is super nice. Plus, if anyone's running Ellie Sus, Crushing Shock, Jabs, you know, Snipe, all that stuff, this is going to help prevent that hitting us as hard as its single target. Okay. Obviously, we have focus mending. Focus mending is just giving me my 10% healing done with single target abilities. That's just going to increase my shield offering, and it actually also increases the single ticks what hit my allies with my practice incantation. Most people probably wouldn't understand that, but yeah, it will buff this as well. Okay. Secondly, we take Soothing Tide. This is healing done with area effects, so that increases my vigor, my healing contingency, my ritual, and my practice incantation. So yeah, very strong, very nice. Red Tree, Celerity, 10% movement speed, standard, always take it. Pain's Refuge, this is reducing our damage by 2% for every 2 negative effects that we have up to us. We can get a maximum of 20% on us. Make it, and it just makes us a little bit more tankier when we're under stress and under disorganization of people wailing on us, which is very handy as a healer. Okay. Survival Instincts. Survival Instincts is a 25% cost reduction of just skills in general. This goes for everything, even our ultimate. It will bring the cost down just slightly. Yeah, it's just super nice to have. Very, very, very nice. And in fact, it does say core combat skills. So I don't actually think that this comes into a core combat skill. So it's probably just doing my fight bar here. You know, in terms of reduced cost. But still, hey, 25% reduced cost, I'll take it. It's nice. Sustained by Suffering. This is increasing our health, magic, and stamina recovery by 30 per stage of negative effects when they are on us, and we can get up to 150 health, magicka, and stamina. You can actually drop this one out and run rejuvenation if you do choose to do so. The difference in between them, there's really not a lot in it. If you actually dig in here and you actually have a look here, so if I crank 50 into this, you can see that you're getting 90 health and magicka and stamina recovery. The only difference is Sustained by Suffering, you have to have negative effects on you, where this is up 100% of the time, where you don't actually have to have any negative effects on you. Okay, so it really does come into what you kind of want to run. In all honesty, do you want it up all the time, or do you just want it when you're in pressured? If you're getting pressured and you just want it when you're getting pressured, run Sustained by Suffering. If you want that extra recovery up at all times, then yeah, run Rejuvenation. It's pretty simple. It's that straightforward. In terms of our green tree, it doesn't typically matter, but I do teach Steve's Blessing, Gifted Rider, War Mount, and Sustained by Shadows. In terms of our actual skill lines, this is the fun part. Okay, so we're going to start with the Potentates. Obviously, with Potentates, we're getting that 15% ultimate ability reduction. And then if I go into my Daedric Summoning here, we also get another 15% ultimate reduction of cost. Okay, so we're getting 30% off of our ultimate abilities at all times. Super fucking nice. And this is what I'm saying. Unless you're a Nightblade, a Templar, or a Sorcerer, you will not get this. Okay? If you're them 3 classes, you can have this same build. You would just do it in different ways. So, like, if you're a Templar main, you would do Restoring Light and then dig into the other 2. If you're a Nightblade, you would do Siphoning and then dig into the other 2. You may be at a disadvantage on a Templar, and you may, well, Templar probably not, but Nightblade, I feel like you would definitely probably be a little bit less resourceful and resilient. And the reason why is because Nightblades are very squishy. So I feel like it's just weird. I did actually put this on my Nightblade, and it didn't feel very comfortable, so I ended up saying, just, you know what, I'm just going to go and shove it on my Sork. So I did, and it felt a lot better. I don't know why, I don't know how to explain it, because in theory, on paper, everything's the same, right? But for some weird reason, it just didn't feel the same. Like it definitely feels better that it's on the sorcerer, for me. I've not tried it on the Templar, but I would imagine it probably feels around the same, between the Sork and the Temp. So yeah, super nice though. 30% reduced cost. We do take Expert Summoner. The reason why is because we do get that extra Magicka and Stamina by 5%. We will not get that max health unless we have a pet active. We do not have any pet active on this build, so therefore you're not going to get that 5% health, but we will additionally always get that Magicka and Stamina by 5%. So that is super nice. Okay? Very, very handy. So that's nice for that extra 5%. Restoring Light. This is a very, very strong tree. Obviously, we've got Practice Incantation. This is our ultimate. This is a flex spot. This is a flex spot for the Restoration Lights Champion, providing on what you're doing. Okay. Obviously, we take Extended Ritual. You know, it's a nice immediate cleanse for myself, and it also allows the allies to cleanse themselves from everything. That's super handy. Super nice. I do not have my rune currently morphed, but when I do morph this, I will be taking the Restoring Focus. You can take either or morph. It's really entirely up to you. I'm personally going with the Stamina. One, because I like to dodge roll a little bit more, so it's going to help with my dodge rolling. And two, I don't typically need the mag sustain in the terms of how I play. You know, I do a lot of heavy attacks, so therefore I don't typically need the mag. So I'm gonna definitely go with the stamina morph. That's just my preference and my personality, and what I'm going to personally take. So yeah, super nice. But with this tree, as you can see, we get the healing done by 13%. This is going off of our 70 of wounds. So if we're all at like 20% health, then yeah, I'm gonna get that extra 13% proportion. For the heals to tick us all back up. So super nice. So the lower health that we have, the up to 13% extra healing done, I get applied, and it allows me to heal everyone and myself back up to full. Super cool. Sacred Ground. This is up 100% of the time. Okay. Rune Focus, Rite of Passage, which is this ability right here. You know, or a rune. Well, let's just say we do have our Extended Ritual and we have our rune down at 100% of the time, and we're popping a shitload of these. So this is actually up 100% of the time. So we're always getting that 8% healing done, and we're always getting that 10% block mitigation. Very strong, very handy, very nice. Our next ability passive is Light Weaver. So whenever I heal an ally under 50% health, I also give them 2 ultimate. Okay? This is just super nice. It helps the group. Is it fundamental? Not really. It's more of a novelty, really. But it's just nice, you know? Giving the group a little bit extra ult. It's just nice. What makes this one nice, again, is activating an ability with a cast or a channel time while in combat automatically blocks all attacks at no cost for 2 seconds. So when I'm actually popping my ult, I'm also, if you see here, it says channel this ability, you gain immunity to all disabling effects. So I can't be stunned, I can't be snared, I can't be any of that, right, when I'm having this. But I can take damage, but not for 2 seconds, because that 2-second window, and it doesn't sound a lot. 2 seconds is more than what you realize, especially in a fight. You know, that's probably like let's break it down. If I was popping this heal, right, and I pop my ultimate, right, that's at least 16 to maybe 20k heals in that space, maybe even more, in that space of that 2-second gap. Okay, so let that sink in and understand that. Okay, having that 2-second breather window of not being able to take damage right? But getting big chunk heals back, yeah, that's a big problem. Um, you know, people overlook stuff like this, and it's fine. Obviously, our next one is Master Ritualist. This is increasing our resurrection speed by 10%. It's just nice, you know. It's a solid little 10% res speed. It helps. I managed to res a couple of my friends yesterday when we were playing in Cyrodiil. There were situations where they died to an oil or something like that, and I went and resed them real quick. Under pressure or whatever, and you know, having that little bit extra speed, it does help. And we're getting that 20%, so super nice. Okay. Obviously, resurrected allies. Guess what? They return with 100% more health. So yeah, they're pretty much retarding pretty much near enough full health, which is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, super nice. Plus, we get that 50% chance to fill the soul gem. Yeah, super handy. It's just nice. Obviously, this isn't maxed out yet, but when I get it maxed out, that's what we're gonna be getting. Currently, I'm only getting the 10% and the 50 percent more health currently. It's what it is. It's still nice, still handy. Very solid. Siphoning. This is our bread and butter, really. Obviously, we take Shrewd Offering as our ability here, but it's mainly for this, the catalyst. After drinking the potion, you gain 30 ultimate. So we do pop a lot of pots, hence why we have that potion cooldown on our jury, just to help with the ult gain from this passive. It's just super nice. Obviously, we increase our max magic and stamina by a further 6%. That's nice. Increasing our healing done by 3% for each siphoning ability, so we're only getting 3% as we've only got the one siphoning ability on. 3% is 3%. It's just nice. And then obviously when I get this ranked up a little bit more, we're gonna actually, whenever I use that, we're also gonna be converting some of that into ult gain every 4 seconds. So that's super nice too. That we're gonna get that additional 2 ult every 4 seconds. So yeah, very solid skills, very solid passives, just overall solid. But it gets better. Okay. So let's jump into the restoration tree. So if we read here with the restoration tree, let me just state, if you go dual wield with this setup with 2 one-handed swords with a decisive, you will gain additional more ult. But I think you're lacklustering yourself and you're really putting yourself at a disadvantage, because there is nothing in this tree what gives you healing benefits. Okay, absolutely fucking nothing. So I feel like that's wasted. Okay. Where I feel like if you go restoration, on the other hand, you can gain major mending when you do heavy attacks, which you're going to be doing anyway to get all your mag back, right? So you're already getting 16% healing done when you're getting your resources resituated, right? And then on top of that, whenever you do that heavy attack, you're also healing a target for 68% of the damage inflicted, which is huge, right? Plus, on top of that, you then increase the healing by 15% on allies under 30% health. That's also absolutely huge, right? And then furthermore, on top of that, again, when you just think that, oh man, it ain't gonna get much better than that, but yeah, let me tell you, it does. It does. It gets way better than that. So if you look, it says your fully charged heavy attacks restore 30% more magicka. Well, because, fun fact, we are in 1, 2, 3, 4 piece heavy. Okay, we are in that 4 heavy, and then I go over to the heavy armor, and we go right back down to, boom, right here. We get 16%. Okay, when we do a heavy attack, we're restoring 16% of our max magicka, plus that 30% from the restoration tree. So we're actually restoring 46% of our resource, which is just absolutely huge. Okay. Plus, if I'm being attacked, my Constitution passive allows me to get Magicka and Stamina back. Okay, whenever I take that damage. Plus we get that 16% health recovery, which is just stupid. Yeah. Kind of crazy. Okay. 8% max health. Like 4% healing received. But yeah. It's through the roof. Okay. So I think when people try to build alt gen builds and they go with the dual wields, man, like it ain't working, bro. Okay, it may work, and I'm not saying that it won't actually work. Like, yes, it will work, but you're lacklustering yourself on resources, and you're relying just on your potion really to keep you alive. Any tiny little bit of pressure, I can promise you now, you're probably going to fold. Okay, you know, if you're being pressured by 10 plus people, you're probably running in the tower, running around like headless chickens, like most of them do. At least with this, with the restoration staff, you can kind of situationally play it out a little bit longer. And the reason why is because you got that heavy attack drawback. You know, and all them healing passives. It's just outweighs everything. It's definitely worth running. Our next one obviously restores Magicka by 600 whenever we block. This can occur every 0.25 of a second. So that is very nice too. So if I'm block casting healing, you know, I'm getting portion of my magic back, which is kind of stupid. And then obviously increases the restoration staff spells. Okay, this one does not come into play. Okay, the only time when this one actually does come into play is, like I say, if I change the flex spot out. If I drop my practice incantation for Light's Champion, and in all fairness, in certain situations I will do this, because in certain situations, given the group that major force for that 8 second is huge. Okay, so yeah, in certain situations you can drop this out and you can adapt to it. And that will then proc Restoration Master. If you're just running Practice Incantation, you will not get Restoration Master. So yeah, just take that into note. But yeah, that is pretty much the build. We are a stage 3 vamp, by the way. You know, for the undead and death passives. You know, yeah, all that jazz. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the build. I hope you enjoy this one. Go and try it out for yourself. I'll put a written guide up as I always do. Have a good one. Take care. Don't do what I did, and make sure you glyph your chest and legs. Have a good one. Take care. All the best. Bye bye.